Good evening. I'm just waiting a moment for more people to join us. Okay, welcome and good evening. Welcome to the Study in London breakout session of London Newcomer Day. And please note that we are recording this session and you're welcome to have your cameras on or off. And we're fortunate to have with us this evening 5 panelists who will present information about studying in London. And after we hear from the 5 panelists, there will be a question and answer period, as you know, and you'll be able to unmute and ask a question, or you can leave a question in the chat box. There are many opportunities for newcomers of all ages to study in London. And in this session, you will learn about studying at the elementary and secondary school levels, as well as at post-secondary. So that could be college, university, or language schools. And you'll hear from professionals and or students about the many levels of studies and the exciting opportunities, the programs that are offered in London. These are programs that facilitate skill development and also enhance learning. So we have our panelists all have their camera on, which is great. My name is Linda Weber. I'm your moderator this evening, and I am a manager of the international office at King's University College at Western University. And I have been in London since 1997, so a long time. I have raised my family here. I have done graduate studies at Western, and I love London. So very pleased to be part of this evening. So I'm going to introduce to you our 5 panelists. We have Professor Julian Sonic. You can see their names here. And Professor Sonic is an assistant professor of writing at Huron University College. And before he taught writing, he taught ethnographic film at Western. He's interested in how images and word combinations are changing the ways we communicate. He holds degrees in both cultural anthropology and information science. We have Margarita Rubiano. She is a settlement worker with Settlement Workers in Schools, the Swiss program. She provides newcomers and immigrant families with information and referrals in the schools with community-based resources. She effectively connects families to programs and services. And in addition, Settlement Workers in Schools provide group information sessions for parents and promote newcomer connections within the community. So lots of services there. We have with us Cynthia Conoreth. Cynthia is an international student advisor with Fanshawe College. And as an advisor, she provides support and guidance to students. She advises students on program selection, career pathways, refers students to appropriate colleges services, and supports any on-campus engagement, such as social network, campus involvement, issues in housing, and more. She's very passionate about what she does, and we're pleased to have her with us this evening. We have Ariane Lacon Paul. You heard from him earlier in the videos. Really pleased to have Ariane with us. He's a second-year international student from New Delhi, India. He's studying at Huron University College. He's pursuing economics along with his research. And he's come to Canada recently, and he's reporting that he's having an amazing time here and is pleased to be participating in this evening event. We have Sheila Carson. Sheila is employed with Thames Valley District School Board. She's a coordinator of adult ESL and LINK, program support. She works together with Jennifer Jones, who's the coordinator of the Adult ESL Link program, and she provides a range of programs designed to meet the language needs of newcomers. Sheila has been involved in the field of adult ESL since 1992, so a long time. She's been both in the classroom, managing a site there, and in the past 19 years, she's in the administrative position. Sheila has seen adult language training develop and expand over the years. She appreciates the opportunities to learn from newcomers who have enriched London. So all of these panelists have enriched London, as have all of you who are part of the participants for this evening. And so we're going to move right in and invite our panelists to speak for a few minutes each, and then we will have questions and answers at the end. So Professor Sonnet, can you tell us, how do you support the transition of international students to your classroom?
I really love and support the college, Huron College, in every way. The students, the faculty, the administration, even the architecture. I love the space, the physical space of that building, and it is very much like a family. I feel everyone seems to be up to the same thing. I think of teaching as a service. It is a mission in a sense. It is an honor to carry out, it is an honor to serve in this capacity of teaching. Remember, at Huron College, we have a mission statement, which is Leaders with Heart. This does begin in the classroom, where students feel that they matter. Each individual student feels that they matter. We have a personal approach because we have such small classes. So this is what I do myself, is to try and, be human with people, with my students, and make sure that they don't ever feel, foolish or centered out or anything like that. Growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, I just always remember this, Cleveland, Ohio, in my public school, we were going to be, the futuristic grade 3 class, the TV classroom. They used to wheel the TV in for a half an hour a day so we could watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And Fred Rogers has been a big hero of mine, and actually really does underlie my entire teaching philosophy. And Fred Rogers always used to tell his viewers, remember, there's only one you, and people can like you just the way you are. And that's very important for our international students to understand, that each one of them is unique and each one of them is valuable exactly as they are. International students are included in so many ways in a college already. We have different clubs and organizations. These students feel very quickly at home, I feel, from what I've heard from them. The classroom we endeavor to create, and in my classroom especially, I believe, I try hard to make it a supportive place, a place where everybody feels that they get the help that they need. There is very much like a personal touch, I think, that I use in my own class to make the students feel that I'm approachable. There's nothing they couldn't ask me if they wanted to. There are no stupid questions. And I'd like to create an experience, I like to, in the classroom, and I think all of us do there, all of the faculty are on the same page with us, to create an experience where students feel even after graduation, they're still very much and always part of the Huron community. This experience for international students, I feel, should not just be a positive experience, but really a transformative experience. And I know that sounds like such a cliche, but I do recall, like, my university experience was transformative. I feel like before I went into university, I was one person, and when I came out, I was a completely unrecognizable different person. I mean, I loved learning and I loved changing in that way. And I think that's one thing that we are trying to do there also. I think I mentioned, so I do try and practice careful listening in the class. I have the perspective of an outsider or a stranger or a foreigner, a newcomer, because I lived in France for a couple of years, and I remembered what it felt like to be homesick and so forth, and how much it meant to just have a kind word and to have somebody say something nice to you and to feel welcome, how much it meant. So that's sort of what I try and do in my class.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to join your class too. So
okay, there's room. Come on in.
Sure. Love to. And we had, I know, Ariane Paul was in one of your classes.
Yes,
which is, and spoke very highly of it. So.
Oh, well, that's so nice. It was last year, I believe, in our pandemic mode. We were doing all online classes.
That's great. So, and I invite Ariane Paul next to tell us, how does studying in London, how and what does studying in London, Ontario mean to you?
Perfect. Just wanted to confirm if you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Perfect. So, hi everyone. My name is Ariane Paul. I'm speaking to you from London, Ontario right now. The weather is pretty nice, so I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy, but I forgot I'm sitting inside right now, so might as well. But well, like about studying in London, as I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult to define it into words. But what I say that studying in London is not solely studying in London for me. It is much more indeed. What I can say about studying in London, what it means to me is it means hope, opportunity, and growth. I'm studying at Huron at Weston right now, pursuing a degree in economics, and the university at the city have helped me collaboratively. When it comes to London, it is not a big city, but I see it from the other side, the glass half full side, perhaps, if I can say. And I feel a sense of belongingness here. Hence, thousands of miles away does not feel like thousands of miles away from me. I think we also have like amazing schools here, universities, language schools, which are focusing on overall development and growth. And personally speaking, as a newcomer, these are some things that I definitely look for before choosing London as my city for studies. As a newcomer, I believe it is a perfect opportunity for people coming to Canada to get that relationship with people and develop long-term bonds, not specifically in the education sector, but overall. And this feeling of a smaller and tight-knit community does help me to not get homesick all the time. So that definitely helps. Additionally, getting access to like resources like public libraries, study rooms all over the city is fairly accessible. That also motivates me to complete my schoolwork, which I have been prioritizing since the start. So that definitely helps. But just getting that feeling that help is available for me for any academic resources makes me feel relaxed and relieved. Like as I mentioned, fun fact, we have Professor Sonic here, who under whose guidance
Just
I
breaking
study.
up for us there, Ariane.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Am I audible?
You're in and out. You're in and out for us.
Okay, okay. Should I continue speaking? If that's okay.
I'm thinking what we might do, if you can. Yeah, we're hearing you at the moment.
Perfect. No, I'll just end my speech. In the last, I'll just say that
I think it's not working, Ariane. I think what we will do is we will come back to you, and you can hear the. Okay, I see he is muted. So, but there will be a chance we will get back to Ariane. If you have a question in the question and answer period, do let us know. And thank you, Ariane. So next we have Sheila Carson. And Sheila, can you tell us what should students know before entering ESL classrooms?
So I'm going to be speaking to the refugee claimants and the government-sponsored refugees and maybe a few skilled workers, but learners or immigrants who come to London to get away from or for a safe country and a safe city for the most part, or better life. And often it may not be their choice, but they are here and they take advantage of it. So our program does offer classes at a variety of times, morning, afternoon, after school, evening, weekend, online, in person. And not only us, but there are a few other providers in London. Everybody goes first to the Cross-Cultural Learner Center and gets a language assessment. And then they talk to the assessor and listen to their options and decide what's the best thing. So when they finally do end up at one of our programs or one of the others, they're mostly focusing on learning English for everyday living with the goal of trying to get work eventually and or education further training. So they may go on to get their high school diploma and in most cases, they may have a high school diploma, but sometimes that may be the easiest route to getting into university or college. But there are some other courses that they could take to become a childcare worker or work in the health field or start a small business. Many of our learners do that. So the options and the opportunities are there for anybody new to Canada. Advice. I would say, be patient with yourself. There's a lot of things that you're juggling. Most of you have families and you're trying to get your children into schools and settled and happy and comfortable with the new world and the new language. And probably they're learning the language earlier or sooner than you. But it is a process and it does take time. Be kind to yourself and Be patient. Don't compare yourself to others because everybody learns at a different rate. There's a number of our learners that feel quite overwhelmed at the beginning and think, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to acquire this language. But you know, they all do. It's worth it. The community feel in an ESL classroom that we're running is sort of the first family. And that's maybe one of the best things about taking ESL classes before jumping forward into the rest of life. So good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, that's encouraging. And we have next Margarita Rubiano. Can you tell us, how do you connect newcomer families to their community? And you'll just have to unmute. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I was saying at the beginning that I am happy to be in London. I came to London a couple of years ago, some years ago. And since I came to Canada, I've been part of the Cross-Cultural Learning Center. And now I'm working as part of the Swiss settlement worker in the school program. And the question is how I connect newcomers to the community. The first thing is we have a welcoming meeting with them and we assess their needs. So when we assess the need, we know what exactly they need because every person is different, every family is different, so they need different services according to that they need. After that, we connected with the amazing services that are in London, Ontario. So many of them are with us this evening. So we connect with the services to the families after that assessment. We have information in many, many areas. Government services, immigration, employment, how study in London, not even elementary or secondary, but even the university, even about Fancho College, we can refer the people. Agency that support newcomers, health services, community connection, hundreds of more opportunities for newcomers. So my advice is, as always, don't be afraid, connect with the services, connect with us, look for the information, don't be afraid, don't stay isolated, connect. That is the best advice I can give. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful advice. That whole piece of connecting and seeing who's beside us, be that our peer, be that our friend, be that our neighbor, being able to reach out and find the right person to connect with makes a world of difference. So
yes, at least the first step, and after that, the world is yours.
The world is yours.
Exactly, exactly. It's only one life. Let's live it. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you, Margarita. So next we have Cynthia Conoreth. And Cynthia, as an international student advisor, what kinds of supports do you offer to students?
Okay, so just sort of taking the lead from some of the comments that were just made, I think of Sheila mentioning patience and Julian mentioning the friendship and listening, and Margarita mentioning the connections. I keep thinking these are all the qualities upon which we have built the kinds of services and supports that we deliver to international students. Again, it's a privilege to be here with the group this evening and share what Fancho College has to offer. And as I said earlier, being an international student myself and an arrival to London as a newcomer, we totally understand all the anxieties, the fears, the challenges they face. So our supports are there to help them with the transition from the minute they make the decision to come to Canada by having in-country representatives on the ground, regardless of the country. Every continent is represented. And we have over 7,000 international students from 107 different countries. We may have one student from Kazakhstan, one from Azerbaijan, and then 2,000 from India. It doesn't matter how many the students are. We have a representative on the ground to give them guidance as to what to expect as far as coming to Canada. Once they arrive in Canada, we sort of just take it one step up, and we have our Fancho Cares program, which again is built on empathy and support to pick the students up at the airport. We normally have students from their countries as airport greeters to meet them at the airport and bring them to London through various means. Again, I said earlier with COVID, we've had to be very careful with how we bring the students to London. So we have taxi cabs, limousines, Robert Q Airbus. When they get to London, we have a system in place to get them 2-night stay at a hotel or a motel while they continue to seek more permanent housing. One of the things with many newcomers to London, new students to London, they come in with families of all ages. So it sort of just makes the challenge for them a little bit more. We're there to help them with that. We also do a lot of program advising, because the program they may have chosen in their home country, when they get to Canada, maybe they want to do something different. They've seen new opportunities. They have the freedom to do something different. So we're there to help them sort through different programs. We have 3 immigration advisors. They're certified immigration consultants in our office who do similar to what I do, but they also can do the immigration piece to help dependents. So if someone comes with a spouse that's looking for work, they can help them to get their work permits, anything at all to do with permit extensions. We also help with the, like I said, with accommodation. We do help the students. It's tough to find housing in the city. We have an accommodations person to also give them just a bit of a lead. And I always have to add that we also provide a lot of friendship, supports, smiles, and empathy. And that comes with every student and even the spouse that they have come with. Fancho should be their home away from home. That's what we would like to think. And we want to make that home as comfortable, not without difficulty, but as comfortable as possible, and to let them know they do have supports. Again, coming to London, small city, big heart, but it starts with us. It starts with the reps in their home country. So lots of supports for students once they arrive, and also hooking them up with different communities within the city, such as the Brazilian community or the Colombian community, getting them also into the community and knowing they have supports, regardless of what their need may be. It's a pleasure to work with newcomers. From an old newcomer to new ones, welcome.
Thank you, Cynthia. So you have just heard from all 5 of our panelists, and if there are services and supports for, as we said, elementary, secondary, if you're wanting English services, if you're wanting college, or you're wanting university, there really are many, many different opportunities in London. So if you have a question, if you want to unmute and let us know your question, we will answer. I'm aware we don't have very long, but is there anyone who would like to make a comment or has a question? Well, I'd just like to say, I think we were all so excited to share with you all of our services that we didn't leave a real long time for questions, but we do encourage you to continue to reach out to us. All of us are here in London. All of us are available to answer questions. So you can go to the Newcomer Day page, or you can continue, you can reach out to any one of us really, and we will be available to answer your questions and to provide all the supports that we've been telling you about this evening. So thank